ti di ọjọ́ Thursday àti ọjọ́ Saturday a máa ń ṣe ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní àwọn offices wa ní gbogbo àwọn branches wa. A wà ní Ondo, a wà ní Port Harcourt, a wà ní Èkìtì. Fún àǹfààní àwọn tó ń gbọ́ wa lọ́nà jíjìn tí ọ́fíìsì wa ò súnmọ́ yín, ẹ fi orúkọ yín ṣe àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe lè dọ́dọ̀ wa, ẹ lè pè sórí àwọn nọ́mbà yìí tàbí kẹ́ fi orúkọ yín ṣe àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́ láti kópa nínú ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ la máa ṣe àbò yìí sórí fóònù yín.
Tí àwọn èèyàn bá wá ń bọ̀, kí ni kí wọ́n mú dání?
Ó pọn dandan fún èèyàn tó bá fẹ́ jẹ àǹfààní láti wá pẹ̀lú passport pélébé kan tó ní fọ́ọ̀mù tó máa fill àti ẹgbẹ̀rún kan náírà 1,000 àtójówó ìforúkọsílẹ̀. Lẹ́yìn tó bá ti sanwó ìforúkọsílẹ̀ ọ̀fẹ́ la máa ṣe àbò yìí sórí fóònù wọn.
Tí àwọn èèyàn ò bá wá gbọ́ yín yé tí wọ́n bá wò pé ó yẹ káwọn pè, nọ́mbà wo ni wọ́n lè pè é sí?
Ẹ lè pè sí orí àwọn nọ́mbà wọ̀nyí 07039209785 lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí 07039209785 tàbí kẹ́ pè sí 08114105655 lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí 07039209785.
Ó tún dijọ́ mi ọjọ́ rẹ̀ ó dàbọ̀.
It's 29 minutes before 7 on Olioli 98.5 FM. Time for NewsBits.
NewsBits.
All right, a beautiful morning to you from wherever you're listening. This is Oluyole 98.5 FM. It's the fourth day, the second day, I beg your pardon, of the fourth month in the year 2020, 2nd of April. Of course, April Fool has gone yesterday, so there's no fool anywhere again. We are all full of COVID-19. May God deliver us from it. All right. I am Oladayo Ogunbowale.
Now, Tola. Terrible. And nobody remembered the April Fool yesterday.
Well, some people still did though on some social media platforms. Some people just want to catch some fun and all that. But at least we know that this is not a time to, throw some pranks on people and all that. This is, and all that. So this is NewsBit coming to you live from the stables of Oluyole 98.5 FM. We are here every Monday to Saturday, giving you news you can use. Newspaper headlines and details from selected tabloids across the nation, and of course we do this via the radio network of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. We are right now in the studio of Oluyole 98.5 FM, and we are live on Agility 92.1 FM, Okiogun 96.3 FM, and of course for our online audience, we are live on Twitter at Oluyole FM, on Facebook Oluyole 98.5 FM, on Instagram Oluyole 98.5 FM, of course the radio person even online mixler.com/Oluyole FM. We're there. Radio Garden, zoom in, search us out. We are live and right there. In due course, we open the phone lines. Okay, so in this program, we give you time also to contribute to whatever we're discussing during the day. In due course, we will reel out the phone lines. And for those who already know, just get ready. Make sure when you call in, you lower the volume of your radio set or you move away from it. Once again, you are welcome. Before we go into the headlines for today, 2nd of April every year is set aside to mark something special. Today is World Autism Awareness Day. Autism Awareness Day. You want the word now? Okay, so what's autism?
Autism.
According to the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, said on World Autism Awareness Day, we recognize and celebrate the rights of persons with autism. This year's observance takes place in the midst of a public health crisis unlike any other in our lifetimes, a crisis that places persons with autism at disproportionate risk as a result of the coronavirus and its impact on society. Persons with autism have the right to self-determination, independence, and autonomy, as well as the right to education and employment on an equal basis with others. World Autism Awareness Day, 2nd of April 2020. Well, that's what ought to be commemorated today.
If you have
this is where you are not locked down.
If you have your child living with autism,
Yes,
it's
take
not
care of
the
them.
end of the world. Take good
At
care of
all,
that
at all.
child.
They have a right to self-determination, a right to independence and autonomy. And so with that, we welcome you once again to NewsBit on Oluyole 98.5 FM. I have a copy of the Nation newspaper right here.
And I have a copy of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, straight to the headlines. Foreign returnees import 12 COVID-19 cases into Osun. There's a rider. State seeks federal government support. Results of 56 tests expected. Akwa Ibom gets 5 cases as national tally rises to 174.
And this one says COVID-19, federal government releases over 30 new rules to shape a lockdown. Says over 2,000 tested so far, and markets to open 4 hours daily in Lagos, Ogun, Abuja. Banner headline of the Nigerian Tribune. More details on page 2 of that newspaper.
Someone sent me that headline. I said, it's like your governor has small sense. So I said, it's not small sense. You saw it coming. You can't totally just lock people down. It's not possible.
You actually have a crisis.
As of yesterday, there were pockets of protests in some parts of Lagos. That's the truth. Those guys were telling the security, if you keep us like this, in the next 2 days, we'll come out to the streets and all that. So it's just wisdom. It's not as if, somebody sat down, projected, and saw it coming. You can't lock people down just like that.
And eventually, you may, in the event you insist on that kind of total lockdown, you may see criminal-minded people starting to perpetrate all sorts.
And they'll be looting and all that, So, never too late to do the right thing. Federal government has relaxed and given them time. I think between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah, open some places, do your business. Man must survive. Brilliant one, at least. They listen to the people. Good one, But I think I'll stay with my Oyo State. I mean, really. That's it.
It's a listening governor.
Talking about Oyo State, my COVID-19 story by Makinde. Why no lockdown yet? Details on page 29 of the Nation newspaper.
And there's a rider here that also says total lockdown, our last option, Makinde. And our questions in Oyo Association records positive cases from Abidjan returnees, attempted by returnees to leave isolation center in Ejibo, foiled. That's on page 5.
Some people are already pushing that news on WhatsApp that they have escaped. Those people, not this kind of people. They dare not escape.
Honestly, why were they thinking of getting away from that place?
It's not their fault now. If they had quarantined them in Ogun State when they entered the border, they won't be doing this. I won't put the blame on Osun State. No, I won't. I would have put the blame on the federal government, the guys at the border, the federal government officials at the border. You see people like that convert a whole house or something, quarantine them right there. That's the same mistake we made at the beginning of all these things. Telling people to go to your house, go and self-isolate. Who does that? Okay, so I don't have any blame for the Osun people or the governor or the government of Osun. They should have been quarantined. If at all you allow them enter, quarantine them on entry. That should have been the right thing.
And I think those people should also have realized that this thing is for their own good. Apart from the public good, it's for their own good as well.
People don't want to know.
Because eventually this is a disease that
sometimes you just have to force them to accept. Okay.
It's a disease that will eventually find you out.
That's
and
it.
Eventually you still make your way back to those people you are running away from. And by that time, you would have succeeded in causing so much damage.
Exactly. CBN coalition raised 15.32 billion naira to fight virus. Please for more cash. Details on page 27 of the Nation newspaper.
And this one says equities market opens with 104.2 billion naira loss. That's on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune.
And we have Salawa shares nude photos to block blackmailer. Akure explosion. I didn't know I carried explosives. Can you not know that you are carrying explosives? Okay. Details on page 29 of the Nation newspaper.
Presidency mocks Soyinka over stance against a lockdown. That's on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Presidency to Soyinka, a virus about science, not fiction. You know, some people are just petty. I mean, so you started the grass boost with Professor Soyinka. Okay, details on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. The presidency to Soyinka is saying, we're talking about the virus here, not the virus is about science, not fiction. Okay, so Prof is good with fiction, right?
I think they should just have let Prof be.
I'm telling you. All right.
A prof has a right to express his opinion.
That's it. And he's just doing that, you know. The details of that story on page 2 of the Nation newspaper.
5,406 cases of COVID-19 in Africa. That's coming from WHO, page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune.
We can find here jets bomb bandits, page 4. Okay, fight against armed banditry up north in Nigeria.
And gunmen kill 3, injure 7 in Plateau. That's on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune.
May God answer our prayer. Nigeria orders seek $100 billion debt relief. May God answer. That's why I said may God answer our prayer. Well, I mean, you have a picture of the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed. Nigeria orders seek $100 billion debt relief. Details, page 6 of the Nation newspaper.
Talking about prayers and God answering our prayers, Ondo closes borders, declares 3-day fast. Page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune.
It's good though. Fasting and prayer is even good for the body. You know, if you want to lose some weight or want to be closer to God, fasting and prayer. Plus, this is our situation. We need God. We need God.
Try to seek the face
we
of
need
God.
Okay, so the Rivers State lawmakers have joined suit with their federal counterparts. Rivers lawmakers donate salaries. I have details of that on page 8 of the Nation newspaper. Rivers lawmakers donate salaries. How many months? We don't know, but at least the Rivers lawmakers they are doing the needful. They are doing well.
And a woman rescued after jumping into Osun River. Well, I wouldn't know whether she wanted to kill herself.
Yeah, a single mother. Then all this lockdown thing. Thank God she was rescued. I hope good-hearted people would do the right thing and just help her out. Very pathetic story right there. Very, very, very pathetic story right there. Very pathetic. Okay, let's see. We have some more stories in here. Okay, Saudi Arabia asks Muslims to delay Hajj bookings. Details on page 30 of the Nation as well. Who wants to go to Hajj now, sir? In the middle of all of this, stay in your house. Pray to God. You will hear.
Now, El Zakzaki wife safe, healthy, says controller. Remembering El Zakzaki this morning.
And we are working hard to prevent COVID-19 spread. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde spoke on BCS radio station. That's us. Okay. Fresh FM, on the pandemic and efforts being made by his administration to curtail its spread. It's a full page story on politics. You might pick up the Nation newspaper to read that. It's on page 21. Full interview. Full story done on Mr. Governor's interaction with us in another radio station. We are working hard to prevent COVID-19 spread. Details on page 21 of the Nation newspaper.
And COVID-19 NPA suspends demurrage payment at seaports for 21 days. That's on page 22 of the Nigerian Tribune. Some people will be smiling because of this COVID-19, because due to the economic some economic benefits that will be accruing to some people. I mean, you don't have to pay this, you don't have to pay that, because of COVID-19.
And I even saw a story on Serap that they want to be checking out, they spend the money. I just can't find the headline again. That people are already talking that, some people's pocket are already bulging, in all of this. But of course, if I find it, we'll read it. We have WHO warns against use of fake medical products. Please, some people want to sell their old expired drugs in times like this. Please don't. Please don't. Let's not endanger people's lives no more, okay? Fake medical products, expired medical products, no. Let's not do that in times like this.
Even the hand sanitizers, you see, also people producing all sorts of mixtures and selling them as sanitizers.
Someone that looks like
I was at a pharmacy yesterday, and the pharmacist was telling us that after this whole thing is over, a lot of people will still come back to the pharmacy to buy drugs for skin infections.
Because they've used dangerous things on their bodies.
All sorts of mixtures. All sorts
for
of
those who, I had this thing yesterday, I had it again in the night. I said, is it true? Says some parents are giving their children sanitizer to drink. Please don't. You are killing the child. Why would you be drinking sanitizer? What's drinkable about it anyway? The alcohol? Please don't. Please don't. And if you know anybody who's trying it, totally convince them not to try it anymore.
And you sellers of the original sanitizers, you have the real thing in stock, stop hiking the price. It's what drives
very
people to
important, right there.
the quacks.
Because they couldn't afford the original, they now go for the someone that look like Akam. Different types of things. Okay. Our diary, sports angle. I'm already in sports. And the Nation newspaper. Sport Minister mourns powerlifter Onwosu. Diary mourns powerlifter Onwosu. That's on page 31 of the Nation newspaper.
Now, 4 Euro-based Nigerian footballers defy coronavirus in Europe. That's on page 30 of the Nigerian Tribune.
And we have Wimbledon cancelled due to coronavirus. Also there on page 31 of the Nation newspaper.
Teammates thought I was using juju on them. It says El Adari.
Oh, interesting. I'm afraid indeed they ruled out of Barcelona move. Okay, so we've come out to say they are not trying to get him. Okay. This is also on page 31, the Nation newspaper.
On COVID-19, you can't force wage cuts on EPL team, says PFA chairman. Still sports page of the Nigerian Tribune.
And we have Fury wants quick unification bout with Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury is attempting to have Deontay Wilder step aside from the trilogy fight so he can face fellow Briton Anthony Joshua. Go and face your guy first. Tola said that before you come to Joshua, go and do your Jekuya fight first. Okay, so that's also on page 31 of the Nation newspaper. And we have Dare teams up with athletes to fight coronavirus. That's a good one.
La Liga season may be cancelled.
Right, it's not it's not carry cancel EPL. Some fans will shout. EPL fans, I enjoy what we have been chasing. I almost touch it. So I didn't say anything. UEFA suspends UEFA Champions League and Europa League. UEFA has confirmed its club competitions suspended until further notice, while all of June's international matches have been postponed. Details, page 31 of the Nation newspaper.
Inter recall Moses others after COVID-19 break. They're asking him to return to Italy.
As their break ended. That's why I'm working after break.
That's what they said after COVID-19.
It's still serious pandemic. Where are they going? I'm sure Moses is going nowhere. His mother will sit him down. Moses, you are going home. I'm sure he's going nowhere. All right, that's it on the headlines and NewsBit. We'll go on a short break. When we're back, we'll give you full details about these major headlines. Please don't go anywhere.
NewsBit. atótó arére gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ bíbí àti olùgbé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ kó jọ bí arélé ti yín o wípé a ti ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ coronavirus nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má mi kàn táwọn jí lásánlàsàn tó fẹ́ rápálá wọnú omi tuntun tó rú nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ní COVID-19 kí gbogbo wa kọjú oró sí ló lè mú kégun rẹ̀ ó má ṣẹyọ mọ́ nípínlẹ̀ wa bí ẹ bá ti ń tẹ̀lé àwọn ìlànà wọ̀nyí fọwọ́ rẹ lóòrèkóòrè pẹ̀lú omi tó mọ́ tónítóní àti ọṣẹ lo tissue paper láti máa fi bo imú rẹ fi ìgúnpá rẹ dí gàgà imú tí o bá fẹ́ sín tàbí wúkọ́ yàgò fún ẹni tí ìlera rẹ̀ bá ń ṣe fíagan dúró sílé dára rẹ sọ́tọ̀ bí o bá ti ń kẹ́fín àìsàn kan lágọ̀ọ́ ara rẹ má ṣe fọwọ́ kan imú tàbí ojú àti ẹnu rẹ bí ọwọ́ rẹ kò bá mọ́ tónítóní ẹ yàgò fún dídì mọ́ra ẹni lákòókò yìí tàbí bíbọra ẹni lọ́wọ́ ṣe gààyà fún àpéjọpọ̀ ènìyàn takété sí ẹlòmíràn ní bí ẹsẹ̀ bàtà mẹ́fà bí ẹ bá ti wá kẹ́fín àwọn ìlera bíi òtútù orí fífọ́ ara gbígbóná ikọ́ gbígbẹ àìlèmí jálẹ̀jákè sísín lóòrèkóòrè ẹ tètè yà kàn sí àwọn ojú òpó pàjáwìrì tíjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ fi síta o 08095394000 tàbí 08095863000 ẹni tí yóò jagun ìlú àṣàmú ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹnu ṣámúṣámú ń ló fa ìgbésẹ̀ ọgán yìí o omi tuntun ti rú nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ kò ní gbẹ lójijì ṣe ìmọ́tótó ara rẹ láti dènà àìsàn coronavirus ìkéde ìwá látọ̀dọ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ State COVID-19 Task Force.
Health is wealth, and there is no better time to remind ourselves of this fact. As the novel coronavirus continues to threaten our health and well-being as a people, it is time to act fast and smart. To this end, religious organizations, educational institutions at all levels, as well as socio-cultural and political organizations are by expert advice enjoined to suspend all large gatherings until further notice to help curb the spread of the virus. Most importantly, we should all avoid spreading panic and misinformation on social media, but help sensitize fellow citizens on the way out of the pandemic. This is not a drill. The threat of COVID-19 is real. God save us all. This message is from the Oyo State government.
NewsBit.
All right, so glad to know you're still there. If you're just joining us, this is NewsBit, the newspaper review program in English, coming to you live from the stables of Oluyole 98.5 FM, and of course we're broadcasting live on the radio network of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. We're live on our Agility 92.1 FM, Okyogun 96.3 FM, and of course on all our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Of course, for those who prefer Mixler, we're there, mixler.com/Oluyole FM, and of course Radio Garden. Search us out, Oluyole FM. There's only one all over the world. We're right there and here for you. Before we went on that short break, we took headlines, and now we'll be going straight to details. You're just joining us once again. We'll be opening the phone lines pretty soon. You can drop your comments right about now on social media platforms. On Facebook, we're already streaming. You can drop a comment underneath. On Twitter, just make sure on Twitter you're using the hashtag NewsBit, NEWSBIT. That will make it easy to pick out your comment. NEWSBIT, NewsBit, hashtag NewsBit on whatever you're typing for us to read out. We'll do justice to that. Once again, you're welcome. I am Oladayo Ogunbowale.
I'm Tola Teriba.
I can see already making a particular story.
Well, is this one about the new guidelines regarding the lockdown imposed by the FG on some parts of the country, some states? COVID-19 federal government releases over 30 new rules to shape lockdown. The federal government on Wednesday released guidance for the implementation of the lockdown policy approved by President Muhammadu Buhari to curtail the spread of coronavirus COVID-19 in the country. The document released by the task force showed that as part of the measures in place to enforce social distancing and limit the spread of the virus, schools, organizations, and businesses in FCT, Lagos, and Ogun State will close effective from March 30 for an initial period of 2 weeks. It explained that for the period of the lockdown, every person would be confined to his or her place of residence, unless for the purpose of performing an essential service, obtaining an essential good or service, or seeking medical care. Now, the policy also listed that all borders linking the two states and FCT to the rest of the country would be shut during the period of the lockdown, except for the transportation of persons on essential duty, food, fuel, manufactured goods, or donated relief items. And fast forward, it also has that the guidelines also exempted retail stores with social distancing and increased hygiene measures put in place, while food markets are allowed to open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Daily. It also gives exemption to supermarkets and shops selling food and essential non-food items, that is groceries, and then shopping malls, only shops selling food and essential groceries shall open. COVID-19, federal government releases 30 new rules to shape lockdown, and the markets to open 4 hours daily in Lagos, Ogun, and Abuja, and it says over 2,000 tested so far. All this on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune.
You know, I know it might sound like somebody's blowing somebody's trumpet, but it's just what it is. I think probably gradually kind of coming back to what's going on in our state.
And Governor Sheyi Makinde actually, like you said, saw things.
It's just the truth. It's just the truth.
We have to be realistic, and I think, like we always said, this thing is more about ourselves doing the right thing. I mean, while the government enforces the various measures put in place, especially as regarding social distancing, we should also be made to understand that this thing is no joke. COVID-19 is not a joke. It is real. It is with us, and how long it would stay with us depends on us.
Definitely.
Like the president actually said, he said the greatest weapon against COVID-19 is ourselves, and we must be determined to do this thing. You must be determined to do this thing, and well, because a total lockdown would only bring about could bring about civil crisis in the long run if it's not properly managed. If indeed we are going to have a total lockdown, we need to be able to manage it properly and appropriately, in a way that we won't have people now coming out onto the streets and start saying that, okay, that you asked us to stay at home, and how do you expect us to live? How do you expect us to survive? Well, in the long run, let's also tell ourselves that these things are essential. Let's follow the rules. Let's follow the guidelines.
Well, I think it's never too late to do the right thing, because I saw pictures of in fact, a short video of some locations in Lagos where government was trying to help. In all fairness, they were just trying to help. But you know, when people have stayed hungry, and you know, there's this desperation. Everybody just wanted to crowd the place at the same time, and then I began to ask, do people even know the reason why they told them to stay at home?
Stay at home.
Now you are crowding the whole place. You would think they are doing political rally. I'm serious when you see those pictures. Government meant well, but because people are desperate, you know, I'm trying, this is not even to shade any government. Now I'm trying to talk about we the people here. You know, we need to just pity ourselves and just tell ourselves the truth here. While you desperately want to get some things, please consider your health first. In such a location yesterday, I won't mention the LCDA, I mean, because it was written there and all that. If one person with COVID-19 just managed to be in their midst,
it's just like this issue of pipeline rupture and pipeline vandalism, when there is a burst somewhere, or there's a cut in the pipeline, and people go there and start crowding. I want to liken this to what COVID-19 can do. People go there, they start scooping for it. Will take just one little spark.
That's it.
And so just as in the case of COVID, just one person.
Or one like a Desica guy smoking around. Just and throw the thing on the floor. Before you know it.
So if we can begin to see it in that light, maybe we begin to understand more the lethality of this disease. See how it has crippled the greatest powers in the world. It has particularly brought them to their knees.
That's it.
It has crippled them. They can't even think of any other thing. You know, there was a day I was watching President Donald Trump on TV. He was boarding Marine One, that is his official helicopter, and what came to my mind was that, for now this man would have forgotten ISIS, he would have forgotten what this other terror group, ISWAP and whatever. He would have Al Qaeda. He would have forgotten all these organizations for now. top on his mind for now will be how to overcome COVID-19 currently ravaging his country.
Well, okay. I hope our people will learn to do the right thing. Beyond government, government do this, government do that. Take care of yourself. Maintain social distancing. Don't avoid crowded locations. I know you want to share of the food. If you are listening in Lagos and Kwara, wherever people are sharing things, and please, your health matters most. You want to eat now, don't make it your last supper. Please, please, our health matters most. CBN coalition raised 15.32 billion naira to fight virus. Just like NNPC, had a coalition with some, oil, international oil companies, IOC, CBN too, from the coalition, and they've been able to raise 15.32. That's almost equal to the whole total amount that was raised earlier, and I think that's a good one. Let's check out that story. Details on page 27 of the Nation newspaper. 37 donors, including individual banks and other corporate bodies, have contributed 15 billion naira to the account of the private sector coalition against COVID-19, CACOVID, domiciled at the Central Bank of Nigeria. This was contained in a statement issued yesterday on behalf of the coalition by the CBN Director of Corporate Communications, Isaac Okorafor. A breakdown of the contributions showed that the CBN and Aliko Dangote donated 2 billion naira each. Abdul Samad Rabiu, Sugar Refinery, Shegun Agbaje, and the likes. Oh, it's even the money they've been contributing before. This is it's not a new donation. They just added everything together, and it's now 15.3 billion. We want to wish and pray that they do the right thing with this money. That's the most important thing.
So much money being gathered for the same single purpose, and well, I don't know, corrupt-minded Nigerians I'm sure would definitely be as well. But I trust President Muhammadu Buhari. When this whole thing is over, they'll
be probed, right?
And some people just may have questions to answer.
I hope some people would not have died of hunger before that time. That's what matters most. Okay, I have this story. Let me quickly take it. Ipman, IPMAN, to self-fuel at 123 naira 50 kobo per litre. Association asks DPR to ensure compliance by depot owners. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, yesterday urged the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, to compel private depot owners to operationalize the new pump price of premium motor spirit, PMS, otherwise known as petrol. It, however, assured Nigerians that its members were ready to sell petrol at the new price of 123.50 per litre. That's 123 naira 50 kobo per litre. Announced Tuesday night by the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency. They are gradually coming back to the amount that they said. You know what CPRA that said 112 before at the beginning of the year, that this is the right amount that we are supposed to be selling. Now they are announcing 123. Well, no problem. As long as you will get to that price that you mentioned before, keep going down. Because at least this will be some, palliatives. No matter what, from 145 now we are discussing 123. Good. I mean, I'm still targeting their 112. Because that's what they said earlier in the year. It's a good one. Ipman to sell fuel at 123 naira 50 kobo per litre.
Now, Ipman is telling PPPRA that compel
sure
the depot owners.
Yeah.
So when
I don't blame them now.
It's very common for us to blame the independent marketers.
Yeah.
So when
it's a function of how much they bought the thing too at the depot.
So maybe the real culprits after all could be the depot owners, and we all keep heaping our blames on the independent marketers for refusing to do the needful anytime things like this happen. And this one says questions in Oyo as Oshun records positive cases from Abidjan returnees. Total lockdown, our last option, says Makinde. State allocates 500 million for COVID-19 testing kits. Now, with the number of COVID-19 cases in neighboring Osun State rising to 14, residents of Oyo State have been raising questions about Governor Seyi Makinde's stance to only subscribe to a total lockdown in the state as a last resort, making reference to the fact that the positive COVID-19 cases were returning from Ivory Coast. Some residents questioned whether the state was not at similar risk with the usual influx of Nigerians and non-Nigerians bringing in goods through porous borders in Okiogun area and other African countries to places like Ogbomoso and Shaki areas of the state. Earlier on Wednesday, Makinde had maintained that the dusk to dawn curfew remained sufficient, adding that expert advice, facts and figures still supported a partial and not a total lockdown. The state government had since Sunday shut the borders of the state to prevent influx of foreigners into the state. Currently, there is a curfew from dusk to dawn. People should only go out for essential purposes. We have done the analysis, experts have weighed in and have said wherever we see a problem should be where we should lock down. Now, total lockdown is our last option and we'll use it, and it must be based on facts and figures and expert advice. So that's quoting the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde. Now, what actually caught my eye again in this story, the mention of porous borders, and which is not peculiar to Oyo and Osun states alone, all over the country.
Definitely.
Now, if we say we are imposing total lockdown, partial lockdown in different parts of the country, well, I didn't hear the president actually mention the issue of these porous borders. Now is the time to actually address these matters. Well, the official borders could be shut, land and sea borders could be managed, could be controlled, but these porous borders, I mean, that would be the option for many people who want to get into the country illegally and may actually be carriers of COVID-19.
Well, anytime I look at this, I understand and I remember clearly that President Muhammadu Buhari actually made a clear statement that all land borders should be shut. In fact, all borders should be shut. He only made exception for the maritime sector, the seaports. Okay, our airports are shut down for international flights.
The illegal entry points.
Exactly. So. Even the legal ones, because these guys came in through the legal ones. These guys that went to Osun State came in through the legal border. It was the Ogun State governor that called the Osun State governor. It's like some of your people are here, and they said they are coming to your state. We'll allow them go. We'll give them security. I still have issues with that. I have issues with. I'm not saying they should not come in. Quarantine them on spot. They came in through some roads. Are we sure they didn't buy something on the road? Are we sure they didn't interact or stop to buy fuel? Come down and maybe urinate somewhere and interact with people. Are you telling me they drove straight from Ogun directly to Osun
without stopping?
Okay, so that's and these are little things that some people might say it does not matter. If they stop for 5 minutes in a particular place and interact with somebody selling plantain by the roadside, that person is a carrier already. And that's why I want to connect this with the question you raised, that governors may not have total control with international borders. In fact, they don't. They do not. That's the truth. Let's not go beyond our boundary here. Governors do not have control over international boundaries around their state or in their state. They don't. They can only say. In fact, you notice most governors have been talking about interstate borders, maybe Oyo with Osun, Oyo with Ogun. That's where you have control, and it's policemen that you will put there. But at these international boundaries, we have custom officers, we have immigration officers, sometimes NDLEA. Okay, and they know this environment. There are some people called port health officials. They are supposed to be in these locations. What can we do as government? And I think this challenge will be thrown to the state government now. Can we have some quarantine centers in those places that people are coming in? Well, if they are Nigerians, we will not say they should not come in. Quarantine them and test them. And that's why I said I have issues with that story of allowing them travel from Ogun to Osun. And then they got to Osun, those guys became miscreants. They said they wanted to escape and all that. As far as we are concerned, anyway, they did not escape. In case you got that WhatsApp message, I got it too from 3 different locations. People said to me, they have escaped from Osun. I can't confirm that. That's not true. As far as I'm concerned, though, they did not escape. Nobody has come out officially. There's no tabloid. There's no, even the Osun State government did not say they escaped. So until that happens, we cannot confirm it on this kind of platform. Okay. So as far as we're concerned, they are still in quarantine. Some have been tested, some are waiting results. But I would have preferred, after all, Ogun is close to Lagos, quarantine them there. The same thing should begin to happen in Oyo State. I mean, the task force in Oyo State needs to step up big time. If these people are coming in from neighboring nations and they are this heavily loaded with the virus, let's not joke with ourselves. We are not immune to this thing. create quarantine centers in these locations, and let's be safe. It's better to be safe than to be sorry.
And for me again, this thing again brings up the whole issue of federalism. When you talk about a true federal structure. When you talk about the governors being able to actually control what goes on the international borders, which are close to their states. I mean, this kind of situation now again begins to tell us COVID-19 has actually begun to tell us that, COVID-19 is actually telling us again that true federalism is the way to go, perhaps the way to go in running the affairs of this country. And this situation has actually brought up a lot of things, apart from, I keep saying the questions about our system, our social system, our health system, the way we do things generally as a people, everything that is wrong with us as a people that needs us to begin to review. I mean, I think COVID-19 has actually shed the light on it.
That's true. That's true. Especially the health sector, if you want to ask. I mean, the large cities, now we know that some big hospitals, they are just big in name. Some don't have up to 10 ventilators. So how do they take care of people in the ICU? I mean, some, they had it has spoiled. And then, funny enough, you see people donating ventilators. I say, so those ventilators are inside this country. And we could not have acquired them and bought them. Well, it's bad news, but whether we like it or not, after this whole scenario, our health facilities will be better for it. I mean, we'll have better looking hospitals. I know, definitely better equipped hospitals.
It's so many states where states across the southwest, states across the country, where the infectious disease centers, where isolation centers have been set up and being equipped. Someone said that the people in these areas, they will enjoy.
That's it.
After COVID-19 is over.
Imagine what that bank bought for Lagos now. They won't take it back now, so they will deploy them to the state hospitals. Well, it looks like bad news, but eventually, one way or another. I mean, now attention. Imagine the billions going to the health sector now. When you tell government to budget for, they say there are other things. Now imagine billions going into that sector by fire, by force. Sometimes we need some things to push us to do the right thing. Sometimes it happens like that. Time check 7:12 a.m. Destination time 7:30 a.m. Still NewsBit on Oluyole 98.5 FM. It's time for you, our distinguished listeners, to join the discussion right now. The lines remain the same: 09025038006. I'll take that again: 09025038006 and 0805-500-9850. 080-5500-9850. There's somebody here already. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Morning, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, sir. Nice to have you, sir.
We need to encourage ourselves, and I want you to appeal to those people who are not the people that is not to discourage at all. We should do the best that people at the end of the day are following the world. And whoever is doing the work and not stand back or look back. So people should try all that to say, so that they are taking care of the people before that. They should not talk like that. There are many people within the community who have been contracted with this virus. But how are you going to live for them? So that we do not let it be at the time when the coronaviruses appear on them. If they say we are waiting for that, the cases will be too much. It will be too much. So how is the government going to get ready or plan? They should have to plan for these people. So that's the little I can say now.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate your comment. We have someone here. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Hello, you're on.
Hello, good morning.
Morning,
Hello,
sir.
good morning. My name is Hussein.
Okay.
Hussein on the line.
Hussein from where, sir?
Hussein from Inawo.
Okay. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. Coronavirus. It was something that it was a disease. I think it's from China. All what we need is that we should act according to government law. So I hope Nigerians that not be protected from coronavirus, and it was a real disease. So it was a real disease.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Osoni. We really appreciate your comment. Thank you so much. All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. Your name and location?
I'm saying Mr. Gumo.
All right, Mr. Adelemi, please go ahead.
Well done for the program.
Thank you.
Continue to empower me.
Amen.
Now, my advice, I want to advise our security personnel. You know, they should please do what they did before. Whenever they see any returning coming into our country, they should firstly isolate them before allowing them to enter into the country. Those are the area problems. Returning and foreigners, they are the people that want to spread them into this country. So I want to advise our security personnel. We need federal security, state, whatever they may be. They should please assist them. They please, whenever they see any returning, they do not allow them to enter into the country. They should firstly isolate them. When they isolate them, they will test them. When they test them and they test people that they are negative, then they can allow them to enter into the country. That's my advice.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate this. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. All right. Please stay away from your radio set, or you turn down the volume.
Anyway, I just want to comment on coronavirus disease.
Okay.
Well, Nigeria is.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, please go ahead.
One eye is now putting an end to Boko Haram insurgency because no one is hearing anything about them again. Whereas Boko Haram insurgency worked perfectly. Government is not anything about that any longer. But the question is this. Does it mean Boko Haram has put an end to Boko Haram insurgency? The coronavirus has put a stop to Boko Haram insurgency because people are still killing people on daily basis as ever before. Secondly, I want to ask about our security agencies that were asked to be spread those laws of restriction, lockdown here and there. What is meant in place for them, for their own safety? Or does it mean their own life is not as important as that of other people that were asked to pay them? That should be a kind of provision for them too, because they are there to enforce a law. That's supposed to be a kind of chunk for their own safety as well. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, if you follow the news, you understand that the Nigerian Army actually did add a reshuffling recently, which is a fallout of recent happenings as regards insurgency in Nigeria. So yes, they are not saying that they have ended Boko Haram. They are actually making efforts to do some new things. It's just that some of us are still agitating for the security chiefs, you know, exactly, so to a very large extent. And as regards the security officials, I want to believe leave, they are trained, they are briefed every morning before they go out to do what they go to do. These are organized, some people don't give attention to them, but they are organized. The Nigerian police force is not just in your state, they are across the nation. They are well briefed and they are trained to do things like this. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're on. Hello. Okay. On Facebook, Job Leke Ajibade says, it's a pity that we still have people gathering to do freedoms, burials, etc. It's a pity that we're not cooperating with the government directives. Let me tell them. Aderomu Adeyemi says there are churches and mosques at Faose, Amuluku, who still observe prayers together in 50 and 100. Send text message to the right people. This is dangerous, or your COVID-19 task force should monitor. Okay, you've mentioned the location, Amuluko. We have its tax in Alabi Malik saying well done. And we have Agbomojo Owolewa saying, morning sir, please, the federal government should do a total lockdown, especially on those coming into the country, because the virus is increasing every day. Please save our life. We've been at home for the past 1 week now. We've been having stay at home. Okay, I don't know. Are you waiting for palliative measure? Okay, say please, government, save our life. Okay, I'm sure they can hear. But on that border issue, I think it's a very, very important issue. Like I said again, state governments are very, very little, if at all they have any control over international boundaries. It's still federal government that can enforce what will happen there. But then, of course, what happened after they leave the boundary? The state governments are responsible. So there's nothing wrong if you can have a quarantine center just beside the boundary, so when they come in, quarantine them. At least we have rights over that. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning, sir.
This is Sunday from Lahore.
Okay. Your contribution?
On the issue of this pandemic. So our government, they are enemy for our people. So that is number one problem. Now, they believe on traveling to abroad for their self-treatment, but they find it difficult to stay in Nigeria. And we say that we have a good leader. So they are going to overseas to receive treatment. Now, the place that they are running through as a safety has now become a issue for them. They are not going again. So they see those people because they are coming into Nigeria. And they know that many of them will be infected with the virus. Why can't you not ban the flight mode so that nobody will be able to enter into Nigeria again? If it is possible for the government to block to maybe incoming of goods or rice or anything else. So we can see that the president is the one causing all this problem. If he commands to block all the airports, so nobody will come in with any virus against Nigeria. And we don't have any complicated weapons to fight against this enemy. So that will help us. And I believe we may be saying that the virus is not for the poor ones. It's for the big people in Nigeria. So it's right. Because I'm staying in the village. So how can I be contaminated with any virus? Those are coming from UK, from America, so they are the one who has the problem. So that's what the people say. And I believe that when the virus is not fight against them from the high level, they will not take this action. So look at the state when the Boko Haram have been killing people, innocent people. So what they do for the work of the soldiers? What they do for the people that lost their families? So and now they are sending many people the Boko Haram to finish the that they have requested. So that is nonsense. So God will help us.
Well, we take exception. Hello, sir.
They find no solution to it.
Hello, sir.
We have people running up.
Hello, sir.
Let the pandemic to be clear all the
Are you there? Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, we take exception to using some of the words you just used now. You can't call people nonsense and all that. Then secondly, the coronavirus, even Mr. Governor confirmed it yesterday, does not know rich or poor. Okay, so please stay safe wherever you are. I know you are hungry. I know you are, everybody is not okay with the way government has been running the country, but please stay safe. Coronavirus does not know big man or small man. Let's stay safe. Thank you very much for your comment. Really appreciate that. Okay. Discussions. Hello, do we have somebody there? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm coming from Lagos.
Okay, brilliant. Let's have your comment.
Yeah, I think the government about this.
Hello.
Oh.
Okay, please go ahead.
I thought the government need to do a whole lot about these private churches. If you get any information from any part of the country that people are gathering in churches at the moment, they are all these one-man business centers called churches. You can't find a Catholic church or an Anglican church or a Methodist church where people have rules and regulations, where people have laid down rules and regulations. So the government needs to really look at that sector. People cannot stay at home just because they want to collect offerings and tithes for God's sake. That will be levels of poverty in the country. The God save us.
Amen. All right. Well, just calling from Lagos. I hope that's not happening also in Lagos. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Lodamota. I'm calling from Lagos.
All right. Let's have your comment, sir.
I have this one of our vice government today.
Okay.
You see, when you look at your state in Lagos State and Lagos, or your state is in danger, I see no reason why our government.
Hello.
Hello, I see no reason why our government, today, not introduce this total lockdown in Oyo now. All we need to do is to establish a limit for our people. If it's just 2 weeks, maximum, so that people can contain the spread of this coronavirus. That's just my comment for now.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate your comment. We're out of time. Time check 7:26 a.m. Buluaji is already right here in the studio with us. Sorry, we cannot pick any more calls. Well, maybe if you have comment about sports, yeah, you can call Buluaji in and let him know that. We'll come your way again tomorrow. And when we do that, please wash your hands, stay safe. COVID-19 does not know big man, no.
And does not know village, does not know city.
Please please. Let's not just be banding that word around. That is all those foreign people.
I'll be the village and I'm saying,
Please, let's just stay safe, do the right thing, maintain social distance. Very important in what you do. And of course, stay tuned to Oluyole 98.5 FM. We promise to give you up-to-date information about government activities and of course information that will do you good. Till tomorrow when we come your way again on NewsBit, I remain Oladayo Ogunbowale. A very big thank you to everyone who made today's show a success. We'll leave you in the safe hands of Boluaji, who will be coming up any moment from now on Sport Tidbits. Please don't go anywhere.
NewsBeats.
wípé ìfetísílẹ̀ sàn ju ọ̀rá àgbò ìgbọràn ọ̀sàn ju ẹbọ rírú. bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kùránì fòtílẹ̀ pé
Education Agency tọ́kalẹ̀ sípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń gba gbogbo ènìyàn nímọ̀ràn wípé ó ń bọ̀ àwọn aládẹ́ẹ̀dẹ́ wọ́n ní kó rí pé òun tọ́